Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I am pretty excited for this video because I'm going to be doing my Shop My Stash review for the month of May. It is crazy how fast this month went and it has been non-stop busy, but I have been testing these products out and I'm so excited to share my thoughts with you on all of them and to just dive into the reviews. So this video normally takes a while, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right on in. My mirror is turned the wrong way. So the first product is my primer, and that is the Ofra Cool as a Cucumber. I mean, I feel like you can probably tell I've been using this primer a ton, and I do overall really like this. It is a moisturizing primer. It has a cucumber smell to it. I normally go in with 2 pumps, and I feel like this is really hydrating. It feels really refreshing on the skin. It smells like calming, just like that cucumber scent is really nice and soft, and I feel like once you rub it all in, it does feel nice and plump. So overall I like it. The only thing is I feel like I like my Glossier Priming Moisturizer just a touch more. But I think that this primer is more affordable if I remember correctly. I should say I did receive this through Octoly, so it was PR, but I really like the way it leaves my skin. I feel like it makes foundation look nice on top of it. I don't know if it really does anything for the wear time of foundation, but for me, I have dry skin, so that's my #1 priority is being hydrated. So I like it, but I'm not sure if I would repurchase it myself. I think I definitely will completely finish this, and I feel like it's like my #2, but my Glossier Prime Moisturizer Rich is my #1, so yeah, but it does feel really nice, and like if you like that cucumber scent, you might really enjoy this because it smells nice. Alright, so for the month of May, I had 2 different foundations. One is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. I literally despise this foundation. It makes my skin look so bad and so like patchy, and there's like dry like crustiness. Like it is the worst foundation ever for dry skin, and I am decluttering this. I'm getting rid of it. I hate this foundation. I am never using it again. I feel like this was a lesson learned because I used to buy so many foundations just to review really quickly and just to talk about it and just like for a video, and it's like I want to actually use my products, and like nothing about this foundation like speaks to me. Like it's full coverage, it's matte. I'm like that's not the kind of foundation that I need. So yeah, I really don't like this. If you have dry skin, I do not recommend it at all. It made my skin look horrible. And then my other foundation is the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir foundation, the shade 705, and I do like this, but I hate reaching for it because I have to mix it every single time. It's too dark for me, which I knew going into it. It's just annoying, and so I don't reach for it very often. I'm gonna keep using it, but I do like the finish. I just like hope and pray and cross my fingers that one day they will expand this line and come out with some more shades. So I have been making this work all month by mixing it in with other products. I found the tone of this, if I mixed it in with a white mixer, it would look gray on my skin, which is not really a good look. So I ended up going in with this stick foundation from Ulta. This is their moisturizing foundation stick in the shade Very Fair Cool. It is a lighter shade than my skin tone. So I've been using this a lot for mixing. So I would go in with, you know, a little bit of this all over the face. You know, nothing too crazy. This is more of a lighter coverage. And then I would do just 1 pump of this foundation. And I would just like spread that around. My little paddle brush here. This is the Artis, what are you called? Face palm brush that I received through Octoly that I've been loving, and this does mix the shades together really well. So once I have it all over my face, I just go ahead and mix that together, and I do like these 2 foundations together. I think it's a really pretty finish, and the color ends up looking all right. I normally do bring it down my neck just a little bit still, but so overall, I do like this foundation. I feel like it has a really pretty finish. I feel like it doesn't have any weird effects on my skin. I think it just looks really nice and soft and glowy on the skin. It's kind of hard to review this foundation alone because I can't wear it alone, so I can't really speak to it as one product. I can only speak to how it mixes with other things, but I do overall like it. So now I have 2 concealers that I've been using all month. The first is the Ulta Full Coverage Liquid Concealer in the shade Light Cool, and this is a little too dark for me, so I have been using it as a color corrector, and I actually do really like it for that. Just gonna go ahead and pop just a little bit onto my darker circles underneath my eyes. And I normally just go in and blend that in with my finger. Again, I feel like I can't really speak to how this concealer is as a normal concealer because I have the wrong shade. It's a little bit too dark for me. So I'm using it as a corrector, but I can't speak to it as a normal concealer. I feel like I was just really repetitive in that sentence, and I apologize. But I like it as a corrector. I think it looks nice underneath the eyes. It doesn't crease a whole ton. It adds a good amount of coverage. I actually did completely review this product in my reviewing April first impressions, so I feel like I'm kind of being repetitive either way. And then the other concealer I've been using this month is the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Concealer in the shade C0.5, and I actually think this is a really good like mixture between that like full coverage corrector in this, because this adds just a little bit of like lightness to the face, a little bit of contrast, highlighting, and it also covers just a little bit. I probably should have gone with a more full coverage concealer for my nose there because I've got a little red spot peeking through, but it's okay. I actually don't bring this right all the way up to like the inner corner of my eye. I bring it in the places that I want to highlight, and then when I blend with my sponge, I will slowly bring it up there so that it doesn't crease. I'm just gonna go and wet my sponge. I have this Wet n Wild primer water spray. I literally hate it so much. I feel like it's such a bad product, like it does nothing. So it's my go-to spray when I'm feeling too lazy to go wet my sponge. So slowly working my way through that bottle. It does have a strong pink undertone, which isn't my personal favorite, but it's not the end of the world. I'm neutral, so I feel like I can kind of go either way and it not be a huge deal. This wasn't part of my Shop My Stash, but I'm just going to grab my pot concealer and just going to spot conceal. Setting my under eyes, I have been using the Makeup Revolution Ghost Powder, and this is another lesson learned of just how long it takes to go through a powder, because this is the only powder I have been using all month, and I'm still like, there's just so much product. I'm like, I never need to buy another powder again. I actually dumped a ton out onto a lid of a different powder just because it's easier to get to. So I have all that as well. So never buying another powder again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like lightly set underneath my eyes. I think I actually went ahead and grabbed too much powder. That's the problem with this, is I feel like if you grab too much, I feel like it makes your under eyes look like 80 years old real quick. I also feel like the color of this sets into the skin quickly because it is so white, which is something like I wanted in a powder. I wanted it to brighten, but I feel like I have to like set it, and then I need to take a powder brush, which I actually moved all my brushes earlier today, was because I was cleaning up. Here's my powder brush, and I have to like wipe it off like right away and blend it into the skin, or else it will literally like mark itself down like where I put it, and it'll just be like white, and it won't blend in if you let it sit for too long. So I don't think it's the best powder ever. I don't think it really does that much for me. Part of me feels like I should declutter it. Part of me feels like I should try and mix it with some other powders and see if I can get like another like translucent powder to look like a little bit lighter, and to just like see if I can kind of mix and come up with my own perfect like combo. So I don't think I'm gonna declutter it yet, but it's just okay. It's definitely not an amazing powder. Alright, so I actually do have quite a few different bronzer options I've been using all month. So first is the Morphe Bronzer in the shade Glitterati, which is the lightest one, which just looks like this. I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of dippage in the pan. I have been using this one the absolute most. I do really like this. I feel like it's a really pretty shade overall if you go in with a fluffy brush. I did find that one day I went in with this a little bit too ham, and I ended up like having like literally like gold bronzer, because this shade is shimmery, so I feel like you kind of have to go in with a light hand. So I do like it, but I would just be careful of not using too much product. But overall I think it's just a really pretty shimmery soft bronzer type of shade. And just swatch it for you so you can see. Not too much pigment, which I appreciate for being super fair. So that's my favorite that I've been using this month. Next is the Tarte Pro Glow palette, which looks like this, and this is bronzers and highlighters. And I did use every single product in here once except for this highlighter, which I know is too dark for me. And overall, I really wanted to love this palette because I love the little Pro to go version of this, but I really don't. I feel like it's just not meant for my skin tone. I feel like I can make like one product in here truly work. Everything else is just too dark. This cream contour was way too dark. Even this one, I just feel like it's so pigmented on the skin. Most of the highlighters don't work for me. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and declutter this and see if I can pass it on to someone else who will love it more than I do, because I just feel like I'm trying to make it work for me and it just doesn't. Alright, last but not least is the Physicians Formula Butter Collection Palette in Medium Deep, which I used all month, and I have to say, like, I don't like using this as much because I love the smell of the original butter bronzer, but in here it is just so strong and it has a whole different scent. I feel like it's completely different. I told myself I was going to remember to use this perfume this month and I totally forgot, so that's on me. But I have been using the bronzer and it's okay. It's not like my favorite bronzer shade. I've been liking the other colors in this palette more. But I think I am going to go ahead and use this today just for the heck of it, because I'm pretty sure I used the Morphe one in my intro video for this month. So I'm just going to take like a big fluffy powder brush and just use a little bit of this bronzer just to warm up the skin. Every time I use this palette, it makes me so mad that, like, the fact that, like, their bronzer that, like, is classified for deep skin or medium deep, like, I can make it work as, like, a super fair person. And I should not be able to make this work. It should be way too dark for me. I also have been using the Laura Geller Baked Highlighter in the shade French Vanilla. And I use this more of, like, a setting powder. I feel like it's maybe just a touch too dark for an all-over setting powder. Some days, like, it does show up just a little bit on my skin, but it's just like the softest glow. So I feel like I've kind of decided to keep this, not like I don't set all over my face with it. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the same brush and I just kind of set like just like right here. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's like my bronzer but like one step in, and that's where I set with this powder. It's like a little rainbow and it just adds like a little soft sheen all over to the skin. For blush, I have been using the blush in the Physicians Formula palette, which I do like. It's a really pretty shade and it's not too pigmented. It is the shade Vintage Rogue, which I believe that you can purchase individually. So there's what it looks like. It's kind of like, I'm so bad at describing shades. It's like a neutral mid-tone blush. I don't know, but I've been using it a lot and I feel like it looks really pretty on the skin. And then I have also been using the Peachy Love Blush Trio from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I do really like this. I think it's super beautiful whenever I have a warm look. I have been using this palette. There's what it looks like. I feel like the shades aren't too pigmented, and oops, I totally swatched that horribly, but there's the little trio there. And I do like this. I feel like it's super easy to blend on the cheeks and it's really pretty on the skin. I mean, it's a blush. Like, how much can you really say about a blush? It lasts all day for me. Most blushes do. So I like it. And I'm going to keep using it. I'm not going to declutter it. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this shade today, just because I don't even know what eye look I'm doing yet. And that one, I mean, it's still warm, but it's kind of not as warm as some of the other shades in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on the tops of my cheekbone and blend it in. Alright, really quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera and then I'll be right back. Alright, I went ahead and just used my Auburn Dip Brow from ABH and the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in the shade Illustrate to prime my eyes real quick. And now we're gonna go into eyeshadow. So my first eyeshadow part of my Shawmé stash for this month was the Certified palettes, which look like this, and I actually already filmed 2 looks with every single one of these palettes. I said this month was going to be a certified month on my channel, but it ended up that I was pre-filming, and just the way that my schedule worked out, all of those videos except for one are going to be going up throughout the month of June. So those are coming and you'll get to see lots of looks using these, and I actually already did film my entire review and swatches of all of these palettes as well, and that's coming in like 5 days if I'm correct. I can't remember. I have it all written down, but it'll be coming up next week, I'm pretty sure. So just stay tuned for that entire thing. I am going to be using some of these shades today, and then I also have the Rainbow palette from Violet Voss, which we'll talk about in a moment. So I'm not going to be reviewing these in today's video just because that would be forever long, and I wanted to do it separately to do like a full video and just, you know. So I actually just want to do a really simple eye look today. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Certified Tropical Wonders, and I'm going to use this shade right here called Coast, and I'm going to go ahead and throw that in my crease, starting off and just blending. And then I'm going to tap it all over the lid. And that is literally it for the lid. Just a soft blue smoky moment. Blue matte smoky. Blue pastel matte smoky. Alright, now for the rest of the eye, I'm going to go ahead and use the Rainbow palette from Violet Voss. So I actually did already review this too in my video where I did like my battle of the rainbow palettes, and I talked about this, and I'll just get my thoughts out of the way really quickly before I even jump into the look. I know I try to do it at the same time, but basically I like this. I think it's good quality, really beautiful foiled shadows. I just feel like it doesn't add anything to my collection, and it's not something I remember to reach for. I have been trying to use it more this month, and I think it's pretty, but I just don't think it stands out for me. I'm gonna keep it. I like it, but if I had to go back in time, I don't think I would repurchase it again. So today, just to tell you really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this deeper blue Royal on the lower lash line, and then I'm going to use this light blue Fiji on the lower lash line, and then I'm going to pop this white shade Pearl on the inner corner. Alright, so just starting off with that deep blue right here. Alright, now going in with Fiji. Just going to go ahead and pop this right here. See, it really is like beautiful shades. I just feel like I always forget to reach for a palette that is all shimmers. Really quickly, I'm going to go into my Berry M holographic eyeshadow topper in the shade Supernova, which I have been using all month, and I do really like this. I think it's a super beautiful liquid shadow and such a beautiful, like, affordable liquid shadow. Like, that's one of my favorite things, is that it's such a great price. And it's just so pretty. I don't have any problems with this like cracking or creasing, and I think it wears well, and I would definitely be more than open to trying other shades from them in the future from this line. I believe they have like maybe like 4 or 5 other colors, and I think that they're all really beautiful, so I'm just mixing that in on this shade on the lower lash line, adding a little glitter moment. Alright, last but not least, just gonna go ahead and grab Pearl. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the eyes with ColourPop's gel liner in Prance on my waterline, and just throwing on some mascara. Alright, for highlighter, I'm going to jump back into the Physicians Formula palette, and I have been using both of these highlighters throughout the month. I feel like they are extremely intense, especially if you use them with a brush, like crazy intense. This pink is really beautiful, but a little bit glittery, and this white is like a whitey gold duochrome. I feel like both of these highlights are pretty, but they're not like exactly like my vibes, like the type of highlighter I go for all the time. So I don't want to reach for them as often. I think they're pretty, but not my absolute favorite. I don't know. I like them, but I'm not like in love or anything. I think they're just okay. Today I'm going to go ahead and use the white gold one because I think it'll look pretty with like this white gold inner corner. And I'm just going to go ahead and use like my finger just because it is more of like a cream product. It does kind of remind me of the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek highlighters, but for some reason I feel like I like the ColourPop ones a little bit more. Alright, last but not least to talk about, we have some lip products to review. So I'll start off with the Dose of Colors. Gosh, let me just put these all down because they're like falling all over. The Dose of Colors Satin, like Lip It Up lipsticks, I believe is what these are called. I have the shade, is this Brulee? Yes, Brulee, which is like a really pretty pink. And then I also have the shade Butterscotch, which is like a really cool, like just super light nude. I would say I like these lipsticks. I feel like they're like a little bit hard like to go on, like you kind of have to like press them into your lips. They're a little bit like, they feel kind of like drier, which isn't my favorite just because I kind of stink at lining my lips. So I feel like something that's just super easy is more comfortable for me, but I do really love this shade Butterscotch just because I feel like it is such an interesting light nude and I don't really have anything else like it. I feel like the shade Brulee is like a pretty pink, but it's not. I have been liking it more recently just because I've been liking more like light pink cool type of lips, but it's not as unique and it's not my favorite formula ever, so I don't know if I would buy any more of those particular type of lipsticks. And then I have the Makeup Revolution Chauffeur lipstick, which looks like this, and I feel like it still looks like I barely used it, but I have used this quite a lot and I really love this lipstick. It's a little bit sheer, it's lighter on the lips than it looks in the tube. It's just quick, easy, comfortable, just a really nice overall, like just comfortable satin lipstick, I would say. And then I have the ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lip in the shade Zuma, and this is such an interesting formula and I haven't used it in forever, and I finally used it this month and I like it, kind of. Like, I feel like I like the color of this. I like that whenever you put it on the lips, it feels like there's nothing there, but I still feel like after a few hours, it kind of wears away in the middle, and I don't really like that look, and I'm just so keen on glossy lips right now that I feel like this just isn't my favorite formula. I'm not gonna declutter it because I feel like maybe in a few months I'll be like, ooh, I'm into matte lips again, but right now I'm just so into glossy that I don't really love this on its own. I did top it off with the gloss and I liked it like that, but I couldn't see myself buying any more of that particular formula, especially right now. And then last but not least is the Flower Beauty Holographic Lip Gloss, and it's the Galaxy Glaze Lip Glosses. And I did just pull out the shade Angelic for my Shop My Stash, but I ended up pulling out Soleil as well, and I figured I may as well talk about them both at the same time. I think these are really beautiful lip glosses for the drugstore for being cruelty free. I do like Angelic a little bit more. It's more of like a lighter nude, just really shimmery gloss, and then Soleil is pretty if I'm doing more of like a mid-tone, deeper nude type of shade is what I'll top it off with. And I do like these. I feel like they're comfortable on the lips. They're not sticky. Whenever I apply them on top of different lip products, they don't like ball up or anything. They don't turn into like this weird formula. I feel like some lip glosses, you apply them and they like get a white ring, or they just make your lips look dry, or they emphasize all the lines, but I feel like these are really, really nice overall, super comfortable to wear, and I like them. They do kind of have a little bit of a glitter to them, which isn't my favorite thing ever, and I would never wear these on their own, but I do like topping them off just in the middle. If you like a glittery lip gloss by itself, maybe you'll like that, but that's just not my vibes at all. So I do like these, but I use them as toppers only. So I think today, just because I've got like this really beautiful blue look going on, I'm going to go ahead and use the Dose of Colors Brulee, that really pretty pink, and I'm going to top it off with Angelic. Alright guys, so this is the finished look for this month's Shop My Stash review, and I really loved how it turned out. Even though it was just like a super quick, easy, simple look, I've just been like dying to do like a pastel blue matte moment. So I hope you enjoyed getting to hear my thoughts on all the product that I was testing out this month, and just getting to revisit in my stash. I will have my Shop My Stash intro for the month of June coming up on the first Monday of June, so in a few days it'll be up, so keep your eyes out for that. And if you have any questions about the products I talked about today, feel free to leave them down below. I'll try to get back to you in a timely manner, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.